And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 67, The Watchers Podcast, WATCHERZ. I'm Tavon. Tri-State _ tip on Instagram. To my left.
Tiger Hilly 19, Snapchats, IGZs, Facebook by way of the government, Jason Williams, follow the stripes.
To his left.
Smitty Green Giant on Instagram.
I am Smitty Wood 365 on Instagram.
All right. We haven't been here for a few weeks as a podcast.
Really?
We did the reaction, which is getting us a lot of views, actually. And thanks for everybody who clicked it and checked us out and left their comments, their likes. We got one dislike. He was just a hater. I don't know who he is, but
God bless him.
But not bad for a first reaction. Definitely gonna do more. So if you got things you want us to watch and react to, please leave it in the comments or wherever you following us at. Let us know.
Nobody better put down 2 Girls, 1 Cup though. I'm not watching that again.
Again.
We gotta talk seriously.
All right. Yeah, we haven't been here 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. But some things happened since we've been here. I don't know where you want to start at. What's pressing on your guys' mind? Wherever. Sports. We got some news and movies a little bit. We got some celebrity news. We got some hip hop news. Where y'all want to go?
I might as well just start, I guess, with the obvious thing that's going on is Diddy.
All right. We can do it. We can start with it. And again. All right.
What you gonna say?
Before we get too deep in this, we don't got to get deep in it. We are always mindful of victims and accused, right? So let's just keep it at that. We don't have to go too far into the weeds as last time as we did. But obviously some videos that came out that kind of prove what Cassie had alleged previously, which we discussed in a previous episode. And so your thoughts? Whoever want to go first?
I'll just be brief. I think he's full of shit.
And Diddy's full of shit.
Yeah. I mean, just watching the whole thing. I was raised by my mom and my grandmother, so I just couldn't see a grown ass man just grabbing a woman like that and being that malicious with it and thinking it's cool and passing. I mean, that's just the camera footage, so who knows what was going on behind closed doors. It's sad to see that. I mean, his career's done. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. His career's done. I mean, I think the apology really is not even warranted at this point. I just feel as though that he's sorry he got caught. I'm not really feeling the apology at all. I think it's a farce. I mean, hopefully she finds some closure in this now that her truth has been exposed, because I was one of them people, I will admit, I was just like, I'll wait until I see something before I really pass judgment. But the fact that when he settled 24 hours later, that just gave me like immediate red flags and something went down with this. Now we've seen the footage and now it's, I guess, the backlash. I mean, it's probably public embarrassment. I mean, he's tarnished a career that I mean, he was one of the most influential hip hop guys in this industry. That's all going now. But we'll see what happens from here, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a rabbit hole that's going to be going down a mile long now. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Jason, Brian.
I mean, when the allegations was first coming out, I was like, just thinking about making a band and other stuff I watched over the years and stuff I've heard and stuff I've seen. I was just like, yo, Diddy did that shit.
Automatically guilty.
It is what it is. It's wild. I mean, Cassie's a small girl. Not that it matters her size, but she's a very small woman. And for you to be like doing all the shit he was doing, like he was on some like straight up WWE shit, but really hitting her. Like when she's down, you gonna kick her
Yeah,
in the head. Like that's wild.
crazy.
Twice at
That's
that.
wild. Like and you only got no fucking clothes on. You just in a towel. Like,
Now
what's-
Venus, man.
like it's just wild. Like the whole thing's wild.
He might have been in a stupor.
Diddy's wild.
Yeah, I'm
and,
gonna do this.
and you know the whole thing is. I always tell people if you get to the point where you feel like you got to fight your significant other or put hands on them, you in the wrong relationship. Like you don't even need to be with that person, or they don't need to be with you, vice versa. And it's just wild. Like, and I've seen people was like, "Oh, but what did she do? Ain't nothing she could have did to warrant what happened. What I saw in the hallway. And she's defenseless.
I'm sorry.
She was defenseless.
No grown ass man should be hitting a woman.
She was defenseless.
Yeah.
And women, keep your hands to yourself too. But that's a whole different subject. But yeah, it was just like, why? What? It was nothing, just completely unwarranted. So
Yeah.
Diddy a piece of shit, but I mean, we kind of knew that for years.
Yeah, just because of how he treated his artists.
Yeah.
Money. Always jerking his rappers and stuff like that. I'm gonna be even briefer. I don't know what else you need to see. He can, apologize all he want. But the fact that when he did his apology, he didn't apologize to her, like directly.
Mm-hmm.
That just made me like, yeah, he don't mean none of this. It's like somebody might have called him and said, yo, you need to put this fire out because, so-and-so calling us and they can ready to drop us, all this stuff going to happen. He going to start losing money. And he ain't hurting for no cash, but he going to lose some money.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I want to interrupt. They said that he couldn't mention her by name for legal reasons. That's why. But I still think the apology is.
Well, there's still ways you can say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to, the
It is
live I affected or something to that effect. Yeah, I don't think we need to see much more. And
I'm good.
I think we were all pretty much on the same page about believing her.
Mm-hmm.
I think a point that I was trying to bring up before is I, to some extent, want to hold people who are aware of the situation accountable, even though you can't legally, hold them accountable.
Right.
But there needs to be some type of eyes looked at the people who
Let it happen.
knew of it, didn't try to change it, didn't try to alert, or help cover it up. And to me, that is almost as bad as
You're just as guilty as him.
I mean, well,
what he did.
If you're the getaway driver, you get the same charges.
And
You know what I'm saying?
and that's what I'm saying, right? But then now in this case, you're not they more than likely won't be any type of repercussions. But so, and I don't want to put it on that hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was 8 years ago. They had this footage. Somebody saw this footage. There must have been security personnel at that hotel. There must have been workers at that hotel. There's people who knew of this. And from what I heard, he paid that hotel.
Yes.
And it reminds me of R. Kelly again, of what R. Kelly was doing with the hotels and saying, don't say nothing, don't do this, and then sorry for your inconvenience and pain.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, is almost just as incriminating as him hitting her.
Yeah, I agree because they held it. I mean, heaven forbid, had that girl been permanently killed or something like that. Now you got this on footage
On your property.
Right.
So, like I said, I mean, it's a lot
Yeah.
to really digest in this, but I just think he's full of shit, and the people that knew that was dancing around his parties and everything is just as moronic as him at this point. So,
Yeah. All right, we don't really got to spend too much time on
Nah.
it. Yeah, so we'll see where that comes about. What happens with that, but yeah, I don't even want to say good luck. I don't even want to say good luck.
Well, my thing is, I just really just say that my heart and prayers is out there for all victims of domestic violence. Y'all ladies and don't deserve that. Yeah, so leave it at that.
Sure. All right. Do we want to stay in the music realm, or
I still want to hear all about the Benjamins. Can they take his voice off? That's my choice. So they got to take Diddy off. And
Well, they got AI now. We can put different people's voices to sing the thing.
I don't want to hear it.
Get Blake Shelton to do.
What does he got a verse? How many verses he got?
he's all about the Benjamins. He doing the hook.
ain't he doing a hook?
Yeah, he doing the
Oh,
hook.
that's right. All what y'all wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot. Damn.
Yeah, he all on that joint.
I mean, if there's the time to use AI, use it to replace Diddy's verse, man. Get Sam Jackson or Morgan Freeman or Blake Shelton to do it or something.
Or Tommy Richmond. Really, Rickman? Tommy Richmond? $1 Million Baby.
Oh,
That's my shit right now. All right. Yeah. Look. We're going to have to tackle it at some point. We're going to save it for...
What?
What's this?
Let's stay on music.
Kendrick.
Oh, these two.
Let's just get it over with.
Since the smoke has cleared.
It's been some time. We haven't discussed it since it initially started.
BBL.
What was it, about 2 weeks ago now?
It's been 2 weeks since it
Two,
quote unquote ended.
Yeah, since it kind of concluded, yes.
There's been a ceasefire and all this right now.
I don't know who wants to start this conversation. I'll leave the floor open, and we'll go from there. But obviously, everyone is tracking that Kendrick and Drake had a quote unquote rap beef, and yeah,
A lyrical jousting.
yes.
War of words.
Wasn't beef. It was lyrical jousting.
Question:
Yes.
Do you think there was a decisive winner?
Yes.
Do I personally feel that there's a decisive winner?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I do.
I do.
Now, are there stipulations that I would like to make known before I say who the winner is? There are things I would like to make known. I can go first if y'all want.
Go.
Yeah, because you got me throwing off like stipulations.
Not stipulations. So even though I think one person won, Kendrick, I'm going to acknowledge that the best diss out of all it, the best diss song is Family Matters. It is the best diss song. However,
In your opinion.
the best diss song. He dissed like 4 or 5 people. It was, and so my criticism of Drake has been, I want to hear him rap. I don't want to hear him singing no more. I want an album that's rap. And to me, in those 2 diss songs or 3, he gave me rap. That's what I've been looking for from Drake. And while I do feel some of it should be caveated, what it is for face value is still the best diss song out of the group. However, the best song out of all of it is Not Like Us. Not Like Us is the best song that came out of this whole diss. The best diss came from Drake with some of the stuff that he had the best verbal diss track to me. With that being said, again, Kendrick won because he outmaneuvered Drake. He killed the momentum of Family Matters. And then he dropped Not Like Us, which was basically a Kamehameha bomb to make sure he was dead. He double tapped him to make sure he was dead. And just before, it was like, just so we don't get out of control, dot, and then got him again. And
So
I don't think after Not Like Us was too big of a hit that it was going, he couldn't win.
Yeah, it broke everything.
Yeah, he couldn't win against it. So that is really my take. We can go into details about songs. I like to hear y'all opinions, but yes, I think Kendrick won.
Yeah, I'm in the mindset Kendrick took it just because, like you said, he outmaneuvered him. But I didn't think that he was going to slap hard like he was going to slap hard. I mean, he dropped Family. Was it Family?
Meet the Grams.
Yeah, meet the Grams, and then everything that he was just dropping, all his stuff was strategic on how he did it, and I will give him that. I will give Drake this much credit though; he didn't back down. Normally, some of these other rappers be like, "Nah, I'm not getting into this. I apologize," and so forth. He came at it with him. I mean, me as a fan of hip hop, I just like the fact that we was getting more guys motivated to just go at it now instead of just trying to be buddy and chummy all the time. Did some of this go a little below the belt? No, because I mean, if you're going to be dissing people, just go hard or go home on it. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I think Kendrick was very, very, very cerebral on how he handled this. I think Drake was not one that was going to back down because he had a lot riding on this. And we'll see from what happens from there. Like I said, it seems like it's a ceasefire right now. Nobody's really saying anything, but let's see where it goes from there.
Go. Don't.
I'm gonna probably have the longest. So I'll
Don't be
go
shy.
last. I'll go last on it.
Don't be sure.
What I thought of the situation.
What you said? Not Like Us was your favorite one out of all
Sorry,
of it.
no.
You said that was the best song.
That's the best song out of the whole thing.
But the best diss.
But the
was,
best
was Family
diss
I don't even remember.
track, and so that's my take. That Not Like Us was so good, it almost made you forget some of the stuff that Drake said.
I forgot all of them, and
Except for Not Like Us.
I forgot all the Drake's Jones.
Yeah,
Like I remember he had one with the AI people, but they took that off.
they took that off. So Family Matters came out after. See, this was all. He did a 616 in L.A. And then that night is when Drake dropped his the Family Matters. It came out with the video.
So technically, he only has 2 songs to Kendrick's. What,
No, he has
3?
Push-Ups.
Yeah,
That was the
Push-Ups,
first one.
Meet the
Family
Grams.
Matters,
He's got 4 songs.
and
He
the
got
last
Push-Up.
one. The last one is what?
No, he's got Push-Ups. Got Tailor Made Freestyle.
Which was the Tupac.
You got Family Matters, and you got the Heart Part 6.
Heart Part 6 was the last one that came out.
That's the one everybody was disliking.
That's the one that he was basically just trying to.
Say he wasn't a petty.
Well, what can I say? Clear his name, I guess. For lack of better words.
You can probably say that. You can probably say that.
I think once that one came out, I just was like, yeah, this is the white flag. You know what I mean? Like he was done after that.
And I can see people's take that being that as well. Some other people said that, and I can see why you would say that.
Me not being like a personal fan of either one, you know, like I ain't gonna sit up here and be like Kendrick was, you know, my guy since he came out. I know of 2 songs of his prior to all this. That's the one that was on Red Album with Game when he was just featured, and that was when they was like Kendrick Lamar is this, he's this.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know who this guy is. And then I heard him on there. I said, oh, okay, I don't see what all the hype is, but okay. And then what is it? Sit Down, Be Humble. Like them 2 songs. That's it. I knew from him.
Yeah.
And then I know Drake stuff forever. You know,
Right.
He's been out for longer, I guess. But yeah, for me, I never looked at it as like a rap beef. It was just a lyrical jousting between one guy who could do it himself against one person who needed help, and the fact that he just like that. I think that was the whole thing. Is like he tried to battle a guy who do this for fun. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick do it for fun. He said he ain't trying to be famous. He do it for fun. So deconstructing Drake was fun to him. It wasn't even like I'm doing this for money or anything. He did that for fun. Drake was trying to show everybody he is who he portrays, but in doing so he lost who he really is, and that is you're just entertainer. Like you jumped in this ring once before like this, and the same result happened. So it's like don't jump into this arena anymore unless you
You know what?
think that you can win.
I honestly, I think anybody else, he probably would have won in this scenario.
Because
That again,
he took down Meek. He took down who else?
Common.
Who else came at him?
it was Common,
Meek, Kid Cudi, Kanye.
Kanye.
I don't think there's anybody in this era that's more battle tested than Drake, and that's crazy to say, but I don't think anybody's been in more.
My favorite rapper to punch both of them. Ghostface.
I don't know. Like me personally, I think what Drake what he should have did was kick everybody out the room and come from the heart. Like if he continuously wants to have people write his songs for him and he remembers what, the verses and does it like any other good actor does, like to me that's you folding. Like you should have said, okay, everyone talks about I have people writing for me, y'all gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? It's me, the engineer, and the guy that make the beat. That's all we need in there. I don't need them pitching me no lines. I need to come from the heart from what I want to say. And he just don't do that. Because all of his songs is listed. He got 2 other people writing them with him.
Kendrick has songs with people on it too.
And this though?
So he's talking about
doesn't. I'm talking about
this
this
group that you can
These
see
two.
the writers
Yeah.
listed.
Yeah.
One of those. Go back and look. Is that it's only one
I
is
don't
Drake?
remember seeing that.
It was.
see the
I
writers
forget
listed.
which one. I can't remember if it was Meet the Grams or one of the other ones.
I
He's
know-
got writers listed.
The ones that hurt the most is say Kendrick Lamar.
And then on top of that,
All of Drake's has help.
and then on top of that, I think people misunderstand what a writer is in music. If I was in a room with you, and I'm like, we gonna have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
Let's have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in the room with you, and you doing an album, you making something. If I sit over here and was like, "Yo, Tavon," that'd be hot if you said "do do do do," and you use that in the song. I'm a credited writer in that song. I am a credited writer on that song. That's just a fact.
I can't credit nobody in a diss song. That's coming from me.
Yeah.
If somebody's coming,
These
at
is
me,
diss
that's
records,
me.
not like
This is
songs. These is diss records.
I mean, yeah, but
This record is supposed to be you versus him.
I'll look it up later.
1v1.
Kendrick, some of these songs that Kendrick did had nobody wanted to talk about it, and then it's like
Well,
it's
you're
just a Drake.
you're talking about it. So
Yeah, it's I got to look
So
it up. I can
one-
look it up. But
it
there's-
got to be 1v1.
I can't remember if it was Meet the Grams or one other one. It's got a writer in it. Also, sometimes depending on what your producer does on the song, it's also credited as a writer on the song. I feel like there's a lot of things.
Well, the writer or the beat maker gets the credit because he makes the beat. That's their way of getting paid. Their overtime. That's how they get it. That's why whenever they used to have the CD cases, you see all those names listed that worked on the song. They get paid for it off of that writing right there. Because every one of them times it comes out or gets played, they get some coins for that.
And then it's just, I don't know. It's a lot of, I feel like goalposts got moved. Like goalposts got thrown in the U-Haul and moved during this feud.
How so?
All right, I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning because, and to me, I think it's just depending on what you look for personally in a beef.
Mm-hmm.
What you look for in a feud. I might look for something different in a beef than somebody else. I'm the type of person that when I look at a beef or a rap feud or whatever you want to call it, what is your angle with that person? What is your angle to get at that person? I had issues with Kendrick's angles to get at Drake.
Because
I don't want to hear you talk about family morality. I don't want to hear you rap about family morality. Tell Drake, yo, what was the line in Euphoria? Oh, you don't know nothing about dad. You don't know nothing about dad. I don't want to hear you talk about that if you ain't seen your son in 6 months.
how do you know for sure
Right.
he has not seen his son?
You
in
didn't
6
come out and
months?
say you did.
He has not said anything in
About
response to
anything.
anything.
And that's a big problem too.
So
But we know Drake was hiding the kid.
So what I will say though is Kendrick Lamar also seemed prophetic in some way, where in the beginning of Euphoria, he states, I already know your angle. You're gonna manipulate stories on the family front from what you heard from my last album.
Oh, because when he was making all those confessions about being a
But multiple stuff. He confessed about in his album, his last album. I listened to all Kendrick Lamar's albums. From his first album to his last album, he talked about smashing white girls. From the first time since he was 16 till whenever he had to go to seek therapy and all this other stuff, he talked about it. So I get your point on it. I don't. What I can say is, regardless of personal belief, if he's a good person or not, or good husband or good man to his girl or father to his children, the public perception is that Drake is a worse person.
But this is my thing though, and it's not even me judging you or what I feel is you as a person. I'm looking at your angle to somebody else. Once you start running the morality route, then I'm looking at you now. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear you talk about Drake's blackness, but you cheating on your queen with white girls. I don't want to hear you talk about his blackness when this is what you're doing on the side. And that's when Drake came with that line, you a fake activist. Is that not? You a hypocrite.
I would also like to state that some of our most highly remembered black activists in history have been cheating. I'm not condoning it, but shout out to Martin Luther King and some others.
Jim Brown.
But
God said, be fruitful and multiply.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like multiple things. Like you in Euphoria, you talked about how corny it was to go try to dig up dirt on somebody, right? But you took the bait about the daughter, but you was digging up dirt too. I
don't know if you
used it.
So apparently, though, Drake was paying people to get information from Kendrick, and that's what Kendrick was referring to. Because that guy who who took the money told Kendrick, right? And so whatever that situation is about planet material or not, it's real weird right now. Ever since the dude came out and threatening, and then people changed their tones, and academics saying it wasn't given. That Drake didn't know it was stolen. I don't know. That is a weird situation.
Call cop and please.
But at the end of the day, you used it in a bar. And it's not true. Yeah. I'm one of them people, when you just start saying stuff, it kind of takes away from the song.
So to counteract that, Drake at the last song he had said, all I'm stating is facts. In fact, some of that stuff he was stating was not facts. It was lies.
Which ones? And who said it wasn't? Because this is where I keep talking.
Academics came out and said it's a lie. He said, go ahead.
Because this is where the goalposts move. Because we went from when Drake was saying, y'all ain't got a daughter, what he put up on Instagram. This is what everybody said. That's wild that Drake is going to say he don't got a daughter, but he ain't acknowledging these pedophilia claims. Then when he acknowledges the pedophilia claims, everybody's like, "Oh, this dude sitting here explaining."
It was a lose-lose situation.
At the end of the day,
he wasn't going to win it regardless.
But you know why it's a lose-lose situation, and why it doesn't feel like Kendrick is a lose-lose situation? Because for one, Kendrick is not given whatever he says the light of day to even have people second guess about him, right?
You already put it out there.
And on second of that, before Drake said anything, you don't speculate that he having beef with his girl or doing whatever other things that Drake is saying. But prior to Kendrick saying the stuff, everybody said, why is Drake doing this? Why is Drake being seen doing that? And that's, again, the public perception is what is leading this battle. It ain't about what's the reality about who said what and got, unless one of them got video of the other one. That's the only way that you can fully case close it. But it don't sound like any of them got video or evidence of nothing.
It's more here.
But one has public perception against him.
And they do have video of him.
And Kendrick,
they do got Drake stuff on there.
Doubled down on it so hard that it made it into a chorus, and people singing it, and Asian people singing it, England people singing it, Canada people singing it. west, east, south, and that is where I feel like that's where Drake lost. Again, I think Family Matters was the best bar for bar diss track.
What I've been saying is it ain't even about the bars. That again. It ain't even about the bars.
In this scenario,
we in a rap beef that ain't even about the bars no more.
But you know what? He is also a victim of his own doing.
Yeah.
Because he made this type of thing before when he did it against Meek Mill. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When he does the memes on Instagram, he makes it a funny thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Kendrick turned the funniness against him.
Yeah. And now he's...
And he was undoing by his own... He didn't make it about just straight... He didn't make it about straight lyrics.
He was not expecting the response.
Because if it was straight lyrics, I think Kendrick was also ready. He had 10 songs ready. That shit is crazy.
But he probably still got more years.
But
I mean, he dropped his thing right immediately after that.
No, he had 10 songs.
He was ready for this month.
No, he had 10 songs ready. Mm-hmm. Okay. If it was gonna go to straight verbal, I think he was ready to go straight verbal. Mm-hmm. But where I feel like he won is because he outmaneuvered him. Mm. And he turned the media, he turned fans, he turned everybody against him and said, okay, he's saying I hit my wife.
I ain't gonna say nothing about it.
I'm gonna double down and say, what he say? Certified lover boy,
certified pedophile,
what, and all that other shit,
and OVO
and so we all gonna thank Drake and DJ Mustard. That's what we gonna think. That's what we gonna think.
Thank him for what?
Kendrick said it.
Without that beat,
it ain't
nothing. Okay. Nobody's listening to that joint without that Mustard beat.
Sure, but like, at the end of the day,
he's the punchline of it.
Yeah. He is the one delivering it.
And I get it.
And he also said that Kendrick couldn't make a song like that.
I know, but then here
he did.
But
now I got
that knocked everything that he did.
Let him go.
Pedestal.
No, but here go the goalposts moving again. Mm-hmm. All you heard Kendrick fans talk about, oh, y'all just want songs to dance to, and you want something simple.
And then he did it.
But then he did it.
Yeah.
But my thing is, y'all criticize that, so now it's cool. Kendrick did it.
All I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, when he did it, he double tapped him with it. Yeah. It wasn't even like he double tapped. It wasn't like it was he got him back and like now it's time for him to go. It was catchy. Like it's Evie up. It was a hard hit.
Yeah. Like I mean, my thing is he was on cloud 9 when he was roasting Meek on the stage. Yeah. Now it's basically the tables. Like I said, the tables is turned on him now, and I don't think he can grasp of being the butt end of jokes right now.
Because he's probably been the butt end of jokes.
I think he's taking it well. I honestly think he's taking it well.
Because he's still rich.
I think he's honestly taking it well. Really, to me, it comes down to is how are we going to receive his music? So is he going to take a hiatus? It sounds like he about to put something back out.
He shouldn't run and hide.
How will the world receive his music post this beef, right?
I think he'll be fine. I mean, Jay was fine after Nas punched him in the face.
That's true.
He became the president of Def Jam, married Beyonce,
and so
worth $1 billion.
At the end of the day, I think they'll both be fine.
I just feel like when people go back and really, if you sit with the bars and you start listening to what was said, I feel like it's up for debate.
You can pick any side, and I won't be mad about whatever your pick is.
Because like what I felt like, you remember when Euphoria initially dropped, right? Mm-hmm. What was the rumor about Euphoria?
What do you mean?
What was the initial rumor about Euphoria?
I don't know.
It was a 19-minute song.
Oh yeah.
That's even worse if you got a 19-minute clip.
That's what I'm saying.
That's worse.
But this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying.
Whole mag on him.
This is what I'm saying. Y'all heard the 19-minute song. He didn't do nothing but cut that song up, give you new ways to say certain things. Let me throw this piece in here, and boom, boom. That's why you never got a direct response.
He did direct.
Drake, no.
And so this is what he did. Like I said. He said, we recorded 10 tracks, right? One of them songs was extra long, right? But he said what he would do is when Drake came out with something, he would go back in and tailor whatever song was going to come out, which is why you got the slave bit at the end of Not Like Us, which is what he said in Family Matters, he said he trying to feed the slaves.
Yeah, you
Right.
added that.
And so he went back in and said, all right, he doubled down calling us slaves. Let me check him.
It don't
That
look
ain't
good
what
because
he-
we're
He
That-
like,
but
did
that
it.
ain't what
He
he
did
said.
it. He did it
But
in
that ain't what he
24
said.
hour. He did it in a 24-hour period, by the way.
he told him in the one song, "Don't take forever to respond to this. You know, we don't want to wait for you." Then the very next day, he got was it 6-something?
616.
616.
He
He did
hit
the
him
back-to-back.
He hit him with that one, so it was like he already called your bluff. So now it's like, oh, now you're on the clock
Again,
But
he outmaneuvered. He Draked him. He Drake.
Yeah,
But this is what
That's
I'm
what it
saying.
felt like.
But this is what I'm saying. He was always going to be able to drop them songs because it ain't nothing but Euphoria cut up. That's what I'm saying.
But think of the genius behind it, though.
Right.
It was a slick
Yeah.
move. It was a
Right.
slick move, but a slick move doesn't make one song better than.
I'm not saying
I
one
know
song
you-
better
I-
than the
I know.
other.
I'm not
saying in the combination.
It's a slick move. It's a nice chess move.
Yes.
Pusha T, nice chess move. That don't make one song better than the other.
He still
A nice
ain't
chess
responded to that. He still ain't responded to Push.
I don't want to put that.
I'm trying to understand the logic.
But we gotta respond to Push. But Kendrick,
I don't want to put. I don't want to put the Pusha one in my argument.
I mean that's old news.
he said, "You better off spitting back on him before you push at me."
I mean, I don't know. Me personally, when I look for beef and when I listen,
Yeah.
I like to listen for stuff that makes sense.
I got you.
I don't think it's a beef though. Like I said, I think it's lyrical jousting, and he
I mean,
just got out jousted.
whatever
Again-
we want to call it.
So
Because one line that went over that mugs do not talk about, and I feel like years later people are gonna go back and look at it. I don't want to hear you talk about pedophilia. I don't want to hear you complain about somebody being pedophile. I don't want to hear you accuse somebody being pedophile. But you was get ready to pull your music off of the platforms because they was going to pull R. Kelly's music off. That to me is hypocrisy. That to me,
Drake
is
should use that in his bars.
He did. That's where he says
Oh.
it. He says it in the Heart Part
did.
9. He says
In
it
the
in
Heart Part
9.
6.
He said, look at the Savior. Got R. Kelly's music still because he was going to pull.
So
So he said that, and that still didn't save him. He still got
Because nobody cared. They was going to have Drake
He was
lose.
already finished. He was just like defending himself in that song. He
But
was-
then when he wasn't defending himself, everybody was like, yo, that's wild. He not saying anything about these pedophilia allegations. And then when he says something about it, people was like, why is he defending himself?
he needed to defend
so
himself
the
because there's
first
footage of
the
him
first
doing
song
it.
that
That's
it was
the problem.
the first song that was in
But
response.
what's the footage?
When he had the young girl come up on stage, when he said something about not being around Millie Bobby Brown, there's pictures of them out there.
He never
Like,
said he wasn't around her.
yes, he did. He said it in that one song.
No, he says, I'm not with Millie Bobby Browns. I'm with, that was just a rhyme scheme. He didn't say he didn't physically because
But he,
they've been known, it's been known that's where
so
the initial.
I'm not bringing it
Yes.
up if I don't want somebody to use it against
there's
me.
multiple. Again,
But
it's not out of the blue, right?
But
And
that
so-
was when she came out and said, I got Drake's number. It was when people started being like, oh, why you got
She
Drake's
was
number?
saying she screwed it up. She
Yep.
said she was on a boat with him.
Yep.
She screwed that up.
And then the people coming out trying to defend him, making it look even worse. Like, oh, that was years ago. And then people start doing math like, yeah, love you.
And
was
so
young.
it's
I mean, because even the thing in Colorado, by the way, the concert was in Colorado. I will say, very cringy. But at the same time, that's a 22, 23-year-old Drake. That's a 17-year-old girl.
so in his last
And that's-
album,
Yeah,
he goes on to say
Still not considering it.
he goes on to say
Yeah, but it's legal. We go talk about legalities.
yeah in the league we get it
In
we
Colorado.
get it. We get
in
it.
Colorado, but
we
in
get
the
it.
world, in the eyes of the people, it's not right.
I mean, not the
Right.
world, though, because there's places in the world where you could get married. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
We're-
again, I
The
think
people that's paying attention to this was wrong.
I mean, yeah. I like I said, I prefaced it with cringy. Did I not just say that? I prefaced it with cringy.
Yeah.
Not a move I make, but at the same time, that's not pedophilia.
I hear. I
Whether we
hear.
like it or
I
not,
think
that's
it's
not
more. I think it's more on the play on like you 37 and you still trying to talk to 20, 21-year-old. Grow up. And I think that's really where it's coming from. But we're gonna
Oh.
double down and make it even sound worse
Because it's
and say you're gonna go under 21 and you just messing with 16-year-olds and shit like that. That's what it sound like.
Because what's crazy is nobody talk about Cher. How old Cher boyfriend right now? Nobody.
See,
talk about
that's
that.
double standard in
But
in
also,
society though.
But also,
That's
also,
stop looking at my person. Look at these people.
Yeah, that's a double
Time to take
standard.
the
No, I'm not gonna lie.
attention
That
off
is a
that.
double standard when the male is younger than the woman.
and
It is
then
a double
I'm gonna give you a male with the women. No, like how much flack is Leonardo DiCaprio? He tell you he's switching out to a under 25-year-old. Leonardo DiCaprio over 50.
I hear you.
I'm just saying. I mean, we're gonna be consistent about it, you know.
He consistently was on his head.
I'm personally
like you say in the text of what we're talking about, not other people. We talking about Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
If Leonardo DiCaprio was in this battle, he probably going Leonardo DiCaprio.
He
can't
worked.
I mean, the way I work, I'm like
Robert.
He is literally Logan's Run right now.
And people, and I'm sure a lot of women look at Leonardo DiCaprio like just normal day to day women. 30 and up are like, damn, why you keep going at I'm sure they get a little cringy about it. Mm-hmm. So
I'm one of them people, legal
I get
consenting dogs ain't my business.
I get it.
Ain't my business. But I mean, I feel like it's what you look for, because there's some people coming out saying, yo, I think Drake won. But I feel like then they get discredited, even though had they said the other thing. The battle rappers coming out saying, yo, we from battle rap. We know what to look for. We feel like Drake won.
Yeah.
Gilly came out and said what he said. Big Daddy Kane came out and said what he said recently. And I know people going to discredit it. Oh, man, but I feel like.
I'm not discrediting anybody for who they believe or who.
That's their opinion.
Yes. Sure. If you think Drake won, you think Drake won. What I'm saying is, though, I think overall popularity vote, I think it sounds like consensus is going towards Kendrick.
Oh, yeah, I feel like it.
Off the strength of Not Like Us.
How much longevity do you think that's going to have?
It don't matter.
I know.
Because it's over 40 million views.
It don't matter at this point.
I think that has more views than both of his songs together.
It's something crazy.
It's
Keep breaking.
It's almost bots.
He broke every record. But there is a break.
He was number one stream rapper for a couple of days.
It was 2 weeks. It felt like.
Who took back the?
Tommy Richmond.
Nah, Drake. Drake. I mean, Drake took the spot back.
So. With this Tommy Richmond shit.
Drake took the spot back, so I feel like the effects of it is going to be whatever.
Yeah.
People going to feel how they feel.
Like I said, I mean, they had a ceasefire right now. Nobody's really saying nothing.
Yeah, we'll see if it reunites and recontinues.
Who called the ceasefire? Let's talk about that. Who called the ceasefire?
Drake.
I don't think anybody called the ceasefire. I think they said, Drake getting shot up.
No. All right, so that's why I be in the shit. No.
And
Top called the ceasefire, tweeted it.
He said good match. K.1. won.
And then he said, let's get back to this TDE, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that don't sound like. I bet you if Drake said something tomorrow, Kendrick going to be back on his ass.
I know, but that's not calling it.
So that don't sound like a ceasefire. That just sound like, all right, they got some real shit happening right now. We don't want to be implicated in being involved in that. So let me try to disassociate it by saying, oh, this was friendly. Good match.
You have to, because people started coming
same
at
day.
his
Serious.
They said, oh, it's Kendrick, but then it was like, well, wait, it might be the weekend because some other shit happened recently.
No, that's definitely
That's a whole other issue.
And
when they would spray paint Not Like Us on his buildings, though.
That's stupid.
That's
dumbass trolling.
But then the rest of that week, it felt like people were trying to break into his house and all this other stuff. So it was just like a week of craziness over there.
That was unnecessary, really.
So
keep it on the bar.
I think we're at a little, everybody.
He don't
check your ammo.
I just don't think he don't not do anything anymore.
Who?
Kendrick.
I don't think he needs to respond about it no more. No. I think they can both focus on whatever albums they're gonna put out and go from there. It's really, and this is why I feel like Kendrick won. It feels like to me, it's up to Drake to say something right now. Even if he had the last song, it still feels like Drake has to say something, right?
Because he came out on the last song. He said
he came out with the last song, but it still feel like, you better say something.
But why?
He'll sneak this.
But what
I don't know why, but that's what it feels like to me. That's why I'm like, damn, Kendrick won because he didn't say Kendrick didn't even have to say.
I can tell you why. Because not like us. Not Like Us is success.
And he talked about it. He said he was like, yo, I would like that. He said I would like that joint because I could dance to it. If you didn't triple down on the bullshit, he spoke about. He acknowledged.
I hear you, but it still feel like if the beef started again today, I could be totally wrong. It feel like if the beef started again today, it would start because Drake said something.
Yep.
Not because
Kendrick he'll sneak this. He'll sneak this because that's what he do.
It's going. I mean,
He good
That's what
for
I
it.
feel like that happened. And then that's why I feel like Kendrick won, because you feel like one punched me too hard and the other one want to still get the second hit because he hit him hard enough.
He said, I don't want to hear you sneak.
That's
this.
what I feel like.
but yeah, that's why I
I
feel
don't like
like.
the way you walk. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you sneak.
He
this.
had
Yeah,
the
and
more.
that-
and so,
but
and so,
I don't like that bar.
look,
I don't
look,
like
I know you
funny,
don't
though.
like it. I don't know you.
It's
you don't
funny.
like
Like bars is funny, but as we talk about the bars, we talk
Nah,
about
I know you don't like it.
But the
So
whole
he
thing
can't
was,
sneak this him no
But-
more.
but
He
this
got to
my-
be direct.
this,
All right,
but it
but
was funny when Meek, when all this was happening with Meek. Now this is happening to him. Everybody's got a problem with it.
No, nobody got a problem with it. Everybody like it.
Huh.
Is what I'm saying is it's more. These ain't Kendrick fans. They're Drake haters. That's where the numbers is coming from. Are they really Kendrick fans, or you just whoever gonna be on
You
Drake?
probably made them fans now.
Cause my thing is multiple songs. Like I don't want you to be on Euphoria talk about I'm the biggest hater. I hate how you but then get 2 songs later, I don't even hate you. Like what? But if Drake had did that, everybody pointing out, oh man, he contradicted himself. Oh, he said this on one song, but he's saying this on another song. Like,
look,
A lot
I
of
don't
people
know.
be
I
defensive
don't know.
though.
The defense rests.
What I will also say,
Gavel down.
even though and he just brought up a good point. Even though Drake, again, that Family Matters is the best diss record.
he had the best song in the joint. I
I'm
agree.
gonna have to listen to it.
Family Matters is the best joint, and
Kendrick
it's not
has
close.
the most memorable lines.
Does he though?
Yes. And it's about 7 lines that probably people remember more than whatever Drake said.
I think he could have stopped after Euphoria. I don't even think he needed to do
Euphoria
anymore.
wasn't
No, he needed one more. He needed one more.
Nah,
I think there's about 7 lines that's probably gonna go down in history that people just gonna randomly say out of the blue and make it a meme like the SpongeBob.
You know
we
what's
don't
crazy?
want- we
It's
don't
all
want-
great.
You know what's crazy? All honesty, though, I don't like listening to none of them. Like,
We
there's,
don't
And that's
like they're
Yeah,
like none of them
I think-
are like none of them to me. None of these songs, like either one of them, are second round knockout. I can listen to that over and over.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are LL's verse from 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. But this is a
Like,
different time in
Yeah, I
in
mean,
hip-hop.
even like none of them are Ether. None of them are Takeover. None of them I see the bitching you by Common
Yeah.
when he won that cube. None of
And so
it's like none of them to me are
When I
like
originally-
something
when
5 years from now I want to listen to.
when I
I don't
originally
even want to listen to them 5 days from now.
when I originally brought up this whole thing, when we talked about this the first time, and I was like, is rap competitive? Is it a sport? Like, why do we, all right, what? And so, again, it's the nature of it that is putting
2 alpha
tops,
dogs.
you know,
two alpha dogs at it.
and one of them chose to see who is the top, right? They didn't have to do this. This didn't have to happen,
True.
right? But in a lot of those prior beefs, especially in the 90s, it's personal.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about rap. It was rather some form of disrespect. It was a territorial. It was whatever the case may be for whoever it was. It was some personal aspect. And even when you go to really Ja Rule and 50 Cent, that was before they.
Well, that
was
that had nothing
Real-
to do with
right.
the studio. That's
You know,
straight.
that has street stuff implicated before they either one of them picked up microphone.
whoever else you want to bring up, you can probably find a personal aspect that really was the force behind it.
You know what this is?
This is
Beanie.
literally
This is Beans and Jadakiss. It just would 2 guys are they're not as lyrically gifted as those 2.
yes.
But Beans and Jadakiss is
We're doing it because you saying you think you're top. I think I'm top, but we got to see who is the top.
it's not even Jay and Nas. Like
It's
this
not.
is
It's
this is
not.
Beans and Jadakiss.
Right.
Like
Right.
these like I can see hopefully these 2, you know, reconciling
Yeah.
and hopefully they do what Jay and Nas haven't done and do something together. And at the end of the day, then we can make the real judgment of who's the better between the 2 because then they're on the same side and we're not worrying about
Who's going to say what?
his audience is going to say that he's better at it. This was better because of this, that, and you know, and vice versa. You got them both together, and then you can make your decision from there.
Yeah.
Like if they're, but not going at each other, but making music.
But so the opposite of this, and hear me out, is Quavo and Chris Brown.
That's beef.
Even though I don't think they're at the level to go at what we're trying to compare them to, Quavo and Chris Brown is a real beef that can really become something else.
The moment you start talking about taking someone's life, it's different.
Right. And
That's a whole other.
so if that energy was in this I think it'll be a whole different.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be funny
It's not
really
there.
at all.
No,
It's not there.
it's not. It's not. That's not bars. That's just.
We
like,
wouldn't have those funny jokes being said, and
Because when you brought that up, none of us even laughed.
Right.
Like it was like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's not a good one. That's
So-
that's one of the ones where you want somebody like the boy Top jumping in there and saying, "Hey,
No, this girl got cool.
come on now, like this is too much now. It's over. It's over with now. You said your piece. You said your piece. You know, if you see each other out, you don't want to say nothing to a man. Hey, don't gotta do none of that. The world is big. You don't have to be near each other. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I give whoever wants the floor for their last thoughts on it.
let's get a
but
big 3 album out of all this. Let's get that. Let's get that.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Let's get
I don't
it.
think
That's
it's
ever
gonna
going.
happen.
Stop playing.
I'm
I don't
interested
think
to
so.
see.
They all just they
I don't
probably
think
all
it's gonna
texting each other like, man, we should go ahead and drop a
Nah.
big
It
3.
is certain things you can't put on
we-
somebody's jacket and we gonna be cool after that. You ain't gonna call me a pedophile. And
that was-
have motherfuckers dancing and crip walking to it. And we gonna be cool. Nah, that's not
Yo,
happening.
everybody crip. Well, I saw a dude in a wheelchair crip walking to that motherfucker. That was like this. He's like this. Turned to spin that bitch in a circle.
Oh man,
I just don't think it's gotten that bad to where they can't.
I don't see them doing an
I
album
don't-
together or a song together after this, but I don't think they need each other to
I
do
think
it.
But I mentioned it before though. Look at how long it's been. They've been not banging with each
Yeah.
other, and this ain't gonna
It ain't
make them
gonna-
come together.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
the
there's
last-
a mutual respect. For
If they did do it, then I have to
I don't
look
even
at the
think they got
industry right
mutual
now.
respect.
Even if it was, even if it wasn't music, if it was just over, people we gave y'all 2 weeks of entertainment. You know, I'm not gonna rock with this dude because I ain't never been doing it, so I'm gonna go my way. He gonna go his way, but we want all y'all to know this is done and over with.
I don't think it's gonna be like that.
I think they're just gonna let it go.
I think-
and focus on the album.
I think to the end of their careers, there's gonna be shots both ways. They've been
Well, we know,
shots
like
both
you
ways.
said, it gotta be Drake first.
They both been shooting, but
I
I'm
don't,
like,
I don't think Kendrick's coming first.
oh no, you're not. I feel like it's
He
one
doesn't
of those.
have to.
I feel like it's one of those things. If you think you won, why are you gonna come back in the ring? You don't want.
That's
you
exactly
don't
why
want
he
to
hasn't said anything.
You don't want to jeopardize getting back in that ring and somebody had. You're not. He's not gonna say nothing.
But I will say this though, they kind of put each other under a microscope because if Drake stepped out in any kind of way left, he's done. You know, people going, oh, this is exactly what he was talking about. But then Kendrick, he come out with something that's whack. Nigga, I'm like, oh, where was that same energy when you was doing all that? So
double-edged sword.
yeah, so they both put themselves in very particular.
You both gonna come away with wounds sometimes. But also the side beefs that came out of it too. Mainly Ross
Now,
coming at Drake,
I got.
but then
I got some issues with that one though. To me, it just seemed like he's just instigating it more and more and more.
Who you talking about?
Ross, just for his own.
Ross
clout.
a sucker. That's it, a sucker.
But he did.
I like.
Go ahead,
He's,
I'll let you-
he's,
I'll let
he's,
you finish your point.
he's embracing the troll role,
Yeah, he funny. He funny. You being funny.
And-
we get it.
and I can't hate him for it. I can't hate him for it.
But Drake was inaccurate when he dissed him though, because Ross had dropped his first album 2 years before Drake came out, and he was a #1 artist without Drake. So he was kind of wrong on that. We had 2 #1 albums.
If you look at,
Yeah,
if you look
two
at
number
Ross's
ones.
biggest hits, like
He had-
85%.
he had
of them had Drake
Hustlin',
on them.
Push It, and then that song with him and some boy T-Pain, like all those were #1s before Drake.
Yeah, but his biggest songs are with Drake.
Oh.
Gold Roses.
Ross got kind of.
If they were
Yeah,
number
look,
if they were #1
was-
prior, that makes his point is inaccurate. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who did what afterwards. I'm just saying
One of Ross's
what he
biggest-
said was inaccurate.
Maybach Music,
That's all I'm saying.
Ashton Martin Music, one of his biggest by far.
But he had big records before that. He said he didn't have any before that.
I mean,
It was inaccurate. The lie detector determined that was a lie. He didn't fact check himself. He got all those guys helping him write, but he didn't. No one checked it.
yeah, I mean the Ross shit. Ross gonna be funny. That's what he.
I mean,
does.
some of it, I'm just like, man, just
He's
stay
a good beat picker. That's what I say about Ross. He all right.
And then the game too. He tried his best
But
Yeah.
because nobody wants to play with him.
But the one thing with Game, as corny as he can be as a person, he can be corny. But those bars are never in question, ever.
No, he could.
Ever. Like that diss was hard.
I think
just
he could
wish-
be the best rapper.
I just wish he had an actual beef with Ross. That would have made it better. But that shit was hard. But if he had actual beef with him,
I would just wish he would pick a struggle. Like seriously, because to me, ever
His
since
first album was the best.
since the documentary, he showed right there that he could take the top spot from anybody who they think
Yeah.
is on the top spot
Easily.
But I don't know if it's the people around him. I don't know if it's like his own mental, like what it is. I don't know, but he has a name that they can promote. He's tall and he's light skinned. So he got all these things, and he got bars. He can get in there and do songs with the Drakes, the Siegs, the Jada, all them cats. He can get in there and mix it up with them and go in their style. And he's gonna have the best verse on the song, but he just don't focus on being the best. He's worried about other things. If he really concentrated on being the best, we'd be talking about more than one classic album of his. But he just couldn't do it. When he dissed G-Unit on his whole album, and then goes on 106 in Park and says, "Go out and buy the G-Unit album." I was just like, "Why? Like, why would you do that? Like, why even bother dissing him if you're
He seems,
go to
I don't want to say bipolar, but it's like he'll have some good stuff, and then it'll go dry for a little bit. He'll have a good song, and then dry again. And it's just
he can tell you. When I heard, I think it was the documentary part 2. When I heard that and he started dissing, "Hey Jason, I just got the game's new album. You want it?"
yeah, I think you did give it to me.
I gave it to him. I couldn't do it. I said, I can't.
Do I still got your Red album too?
Do you?
Or did I might have bought Red album.
I don't know.
I think you did get it.
The Red album.
I love the Red album. That
That
joint
thing
with
go hard.
Tyler the Creator.
Yep.
yeah.
Another
All right.
underrated. Well, not underrated, but Tyler the Creator. He crazy.
He
Say some wild stuff, but
so
that's my guy.
sometimes though you have to look at, and this is just me. I could be way off, and nobody agrees with me, right? But music is an art form, and these are ways people are expressing themselves in some scenarios, not all. Some people, I don't want to generalize it, but a lot of these, I want to call them Atlanta rappers, but not Atlanta rappers.
I knew she was fitting to say.
This mold of they have the same gimmick. And then they just go in and almost say the same thing. It's just the beats are different, and they have a catchy hook. It's all rinse and repeat with them. But there are different people who stick out, and they're using it as an art form to express themselves for whatever they are trying to express. And I've listened to Tyler the Creator since his first hit song, "Sandwiches," back in like 2010, right? And I've listened to all his albums. His form of expression is not generic. He puts thought, he puts creativity into what he tries to put out. And I can say that, and I know everybody doesn't listen to Kendrick Lamar, but if you sit back and listen to what he's saying in a lot of these albums, the way he puts it together comes off borderline like genius. And it doesn't stick with the masses because it's not a catchy beat on all those songs, right? But
This is basically
Nas.
That's where I was going to go.
but this is where Andre 3000 comes in. This is where Nas comes. These guys aren't taking the popular route to give me a catchy beat. I'm gonna give you some good bars with a catchy hook, and we gonna get some money and blah 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 blah. Certain people stick out to me. Eminem stuck out to me. Big Pun stuck out. But certain people throughout time in music stick out, and you always see the beaten path, the off the beaten path people. Prince, all these guys who don't necessarily go the popular route, but and you gotta kind of appreciate
they're your favorite rappers.
their uniqueness at the same time, though.
Can I give you?
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Can I give you a hot take?
Go ahead.
You mentioned the name. Got a hot take.
Go ahead.
Big Boy's a better rapper than Andre.
For sure. He is a better rapper, right? As far as he can get in the booth and go and put some lines together. I don't think he is creative
As Andre.
as Andre 3000 is.
He's not. He's Big Boy is more simplistic.
Yes. I don't think he's creative as Andre.
Andre's going to think it out. He's going to think it out way more. And
He got bars that when you listen to it the first time, it's like, Wait a minute, I'm about to rewind that back.
And again, that's what I'm saying for Kendrick Lamar.
They make repeatable songs. Like
you gotta
listen.
hear it more than once to really understand
just
or
what he's saying.
even realize that it's multiple layers to that what he's saying
Yeah, that's like
from
Nas.
face
Yeah,
value.
Nas
that's
like
Nas.
Yes.
I would say that's Nas. Even like
That was just a bad beat picker back in the day.
Illmatic.
He got better with the beats.
Hit Boy saved his life.
Yeah. That was his thing. The
Love
beats.
Nas.
I just picked the beats.
Nas was an awesome story.
But I just think, and I give Nas credit because, like you said, he picked bad beats. But like the people that was producing for him probably wouldn't have gotten the shot had he not have said, "Hey, give me that track. I want to do that." So it's a lot of people still eating because of Nas.
Side note, my favorite Nas album is Godson.
I don't even remember that.
I love
one.
that album.
That's not the Double John, is it?
Nah,
No,
Yeah, so,
no. Godson's would They Shoot.
Major
Okay.
Look,
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Last King of New York. And all.
We're at an hour. So let's just go around with some other stuff that happened in the past couple of weeks because we weren't here and then we get out. We got NBA playoffs. We're at the final 4 teams, 2 on the West, 2 on the East.
Not
On the-
going to be a repeat champion.
No repeat champions. The
that's
defending
good for the
champions
league.
out.
And a first-time champion for all the stars.
Yes, there'll be. Ooh, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
All the stars. Is,
Kyrie.
I think.
Kyrie got the one with
Well,
LeBron.
I mean, I'm talking about the guys that are under 30 because
yeah, okay.
from Luke, I think Luke is the oldest.
Gotcha.
On down.
So we got Timberwolves, Mavs on the West, and we have Celtics, Pacers on the East. Any early predictions or who you think are going to win out of the 4? Win it all?
Bengals going to be 12-5. Oh, sorry. That's where my mind at right now.
Or do we not want to do predictions until we see some games?
Is it that football player thing coming in here that can play basketball?
With the black
Sorry,
horses?
I think if I'm predicting not just like who's gonna win it all,
You win
just
it all.
this series and this series.
Okay.
I'm just
all
gonna do series per
Go ahead.
series.
Go ahead.
I think Ant-Man is unstoppable, and Boston is gonna have to outscore Indiana to win, and I don't think that they can go 7 games and outscore them. So I'm thinking Indiana and what's it called, the T-Wolves.
Okay.
I feel like we saw a couple chinks in the armor of Celtics
Mm-hmm.
these last
Okay.
couple series.
Okay.
I'm kind of. I was wrestling with this when we was coming up with this. I think Indiana is wants it more. They got guys that can shoot the ball. Boston's just been inconsistent. They play good at home, but they terrible on the road. And that's been their knock all year now. The second thing is I don't even know if Porzingis is playing.
I think he's going to miss at least 1 game and possibly 2.
That's the big thing. And then he's got to come in and then he's got to get back. He ain't been playing in a minute, so he's got to get himself back into it. So that's against them. However, Indiana's got everybody's pretty much healthy right now for the most part. So I got Indiana coming out of the East. I think it's going to be closer than what people thinking, though. But I got Indiana coming out of the East.
Oh, yeah.
And that damn Ant-Man, he is starting to really ascend to become the new face of the league. And everybody's been saying it, but I just think he wants it. I think he has a mindset that he just wants to obliterate everybody that's in front of him. For him to say that his idol was Kevin Durant and he took pleasure in sending him home in a suite. I mean, he got off on it and said that publicly. That's my man. He said, I'm going to let him know during the Olympic things that I sent you home early. I like that stuff, man. I like
sure.
it.
It might light a fire in the KD.
I mean, he got a dog in him for him to say that. And I don't know about his supporting cast. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be a chess match with them too. I mean, I think Kyrie's experiences, he may step up and be the clutch guy. Maybe Luka finally just gets out of his little slump and goes off. I don't know about this one, man. The West it's wide open right now. But I have to watch maybe 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm gonna go from heart to my heart is telling me Timberwolves Celtics. I can see though Mavs putting up a fight, and I can see Pacers putting up a fight, but I think I'm gonna have to. So I'm doing this based off two things. I don't think the Pacers would have beat the Knicks fully healthy. I think the Knicks were gonna outplay them.
I don't know.
They had like 3 or 4 injuries, and like a lot of them were starters.
Yeah. They didn't have for me. Even though they had a lot of guys that were down, who else there was going to give them 25?
Bogdanovich was going to give you about 18.
Loss. That was the big loss.
But they needed somebody that could give them 25.
They did.
Because
they only
the
lost
Pacers,
the one game by a couple points.
But the Pacers, they didn't worry about defense.
It was also that they couldn't get any breaks. They had to stay on the floor the whole time.
Tom Thibodeau,
that made a difference.
And Tibbs be running them guys.
And he would,
And Julius Randle's probably gonna give you 20. He hasn't been there the whole for the last 3 months.
But he's right though. Thibodeau ran them to the ground.
They had nobody to
even
swap
prior
with.
though.
Prior to that,
even prior, he was running them dudes.
They got nobody to swap with.
Yeah.
He did it to Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
That's why Derrick Rose is out of commission.
So, and then. Yeah, I'll echo you guys with the Timberwolves. I think fully engaged Timberwolves, lockdown defense, and getting off on the offense is hard to beat. I think they can stop every team. And if you're looking at who they play in the first round,
The Clippers,
the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Mavs played. Mavs played Clippers first round. Timberwolves played.
God, I can't remember.
Was it New Orleans?
Yeah. It was
Pelicans.
New Orleans. It was New Orleans. Then it was
Pelicans.
Yeah, it was. Now it was New Orleans. Yeah, it was New Orleans. Then it was.
No.
Then it was Phoenix, and then.
No, they played Phoenix first round.
Yeah, Phoenix. That's what they said.
So yes. So Gary, sorry.
Oh, that's right. That's
They
right.
played-
KD and them got put out.
Yes. So yes. And so now that I'm looking at path of getting to the playoffs, they had the hardest path to me out of all the 4 teams left. And they beat out and they made the Suns, which to me really was a second round team, a 4-0 sweep. And I think if the Suns played any other team, it'd have been a hard series for that other team. But they made that team a 4-0 sweep. Then they took out the defending champs. So if I'm looking at Celtics, y'all beat a hobbled Heat.
Yeah. What's the name was hurt?
Y'all beat a
Knicks team.
No, not the Knicks. Who they just beat?
Not OKC beat the
Cavs.
Pelicans. Yeah,
Cavs. No Donovan Mitchell for the last 2 games.
Or Jared. What's the name?
No Jared Allen.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at the path to get there, I might be saying, to me, every round should get harder for a team. And to me, they reached their hardest opponent already. And everybody else is going to feel easy, in my opinion. That's what I think in my head. But I could be wrong. We'll see. I do like Anthony Edwards. I think his mindset is something refreshing, something that we equate with 90s and 80s basketball. We're not afraid of calling people out, not afraid of stepping up to challenges, not afraid of, hey, this is basketball. We could be friends afterwards, but I'm trying to tear your head off while we're doing this.
That's how his mentor.
It's not even just his attitude, it's his play style as well. His play style reminds you of 90s mixed with new basketball. He's only 6'2", or he's not that big, or whatever it is, 6'3" maybe, I can't remember.
And you figure he's only 22 years old.
At 22 years old.
Doing this.
But he's doing post-ups. He can do a little bit of everything. He's jamming on people. He's blocking shots.
That's the confidence.
He's fearless. I mean, he's definitely fearless.
He ain't short
it
on
can
that.
give you that glimpse of, damn, this might be the next MJ, right? And I don't want to compare them, but you can see why people would compare them with the athleticism, with the
he's playing with
fierce,
he's playing with an edge.
the competitive edge, the competitiveness. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. outside of basketball, was there anything else I'm missing? We got a glimpse of Superman's new suit in the past couple of weeks.
Didn't we talk about
I don't think we ever talked about it. But
I'm not mad at it.
NFL schedule came out.
Are we ready to talk about football? We'll save.
Wait,
We'll save football.
12 and 5.
Yeah, I want to jab on that Superman suit real quick.
Let's try to keep this one short.
I'm just
and
gonna be
then
real
we'll end
brief.
it. Go ahead.
I like it. I'm just gonna wait until the movie come out to see it in context, and I'll leave it at that.
Sir,
what?
anything on your thoughts on that Superman outfit? Did you remember? You remember it?
It's just a costume.
There was some flack online
For
You
what?
because it got crevices, and that's not how a Superman suit's supposed to look. And da 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 da. You seen it?
Yeah.
You seen it?
I just don't care.
No.
No. It's.
All right.
I mean, I'm more worried about the story and how the movie is opposed to
Which
what I'm
should be.
wearing.
Which
That's what I'm worried about.
I hope everybody is.
I'm more interested in that.
And I know people, again,
Because you asked me what's the name suit looked like before, I'd have to Google it.
what's that?
Cavill.
Cavill. So
Mhm.
Cavill's got revealed as a part of a scene in like the bank, and he was like pushing the bank door.
His suit was all blue, right, and it had the red boots. Like it was like a darker tint. Right?
Who you referring to?
Henry Cavill.
I have to go back. I can tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Don't matter.
He has red. The new one has red boots. I say I don't look at the boots. It's
Right.
more I really care about the chest, the cape, and if they got a cowl and it looks like Superman or not.
I don't think and this is just my opinion. I just don't think his costume is as important as Batman's. Like I look more forward to what Batman gonna wear than I do for Superman.
Gotcha.
I'm just more. I like Superman more, but when it comes to the two,
It's
I
not
rather.
bad. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I want to make sure that he ain't got he ain't, like Michael
Yeah,
Keaton.
yeah.
That poor man.
Yeah.
I know he had a headache with that shit.
Oh, Batman got a lot of fits too.
Yeah.
He got a lot of fits.
Yeah, I mean,
Got a lot of money.
don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to do it.
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out?
Oh yeah, I do want to address that for everybody that
Batman.
said that. Remember, all right, for the comments that was saying that we didn't see the post credit scene. We did. We just did not see it when we was recording. We hit we hit the stop button really really quick.
Tavon hit the stop button.
Yeah.
I'm throwing him under the bus.
Sorry.
The
Yeah,
showrunner
I
did it. Damn it!
I did.
He denied
I
us.
was caught up in the moment,
It was a
you
moment.
know. So. But yes, we responded to those comments, and we did get to see it, like Julian said. So we're all waiting for the next season,
Yeah.
and excited to see where it goes. And if you got any other shows that you want us to react to, ladies and gentlemen, please let us know.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun though. That was a lot of fun.
Who else? All right, well, we'll get up out of here at hour 12, so not too long. But episode 67, something like that.
60 numbers.
Numbers. The Watchers Podcast, WATCHERZ. I am Tavon, Tri-State_Tip on Instagram.
Tiger Helly 19, Snapchats and IGs. Facebook by way of the government, Jason Williams. Follow the stripes.
Smitty Green Giant on Instagram.
Smitty with 365 on Instagram.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.